Hey gamers, welcome to the Part-Time Gamers Club, where we game part-time but support gaming all the time. For those of you tuning back in, make sure to drop a like and subscribe. And if it's your first time here, welcome to the crew. I'm Gio, alongside me is Gerard. And today we're going to be discussing the game Blood Message in the reveal trailer that we saw. Gerard, what was your first impressions?
So Blood Message, the official reveal trailer, actually looks good. To give more context about it, Blood Message is made by 24 Studios. It's going to be a third-person linear action adventure game, and the trailer shows gameplay. I'm looking at the description, but like does not say gameplay trailer. So we'll see. But third-person linear action game, very similar to like Gears of War. Definitely not Gears of War. God of War, Uncharted. I also saw it looked very similar to Assassin's Creed. From the vibe I get though, I'm thinking more Prince of Persia and like
OG Prince of Persia.
Expedition 33. Yeah, OG Prince of Persia. And Expedition 33. And in that aspect of looking gorgeous, like graphically.
Oh yeah, visually,
first.
yeah, it looks
visually
really nice.
there. Like all the environment, it looks great. Characters look great. That's a focus. While it makes sense because when you are playing what it looks to be a single player game, because it doesn't say in the description or reveal,
not much.
We can basically predict and or just estimate that it's going to be a single player game because it looks visually appealing and you can't kind of make those like large leaps in like visual fidelity with multiplayer. There are like, I would say like the Uncharted multiplayer was like cutting it close, but like even then like the map designs were kind of boring. But with that being said, like looks visually appealing, very focused on melee combat. It is a Chinese company, so right now the reveal trailer is written or done in Chinese. I don't know if they'll receive funding to do dubs, like an English dub or Japanese dub or whatever. But we'll see.
Did they do one with Black Myth?
I doubt it. I don't think so.
I don't remember. I'll have to look that up.
But with that being said, I do have personal critiques, and I say personal critiques, aka that means that it is not a critique on the game as a whole. It is a critique that of why I think I won't enjoy this game, or maybe enjoy the game a little less personally, and that is because, as I said before, I don't see UI, I don't see HUD. This isn't anywhere mentioned as a gameplay trailer, so results may vary, is what I'm thinking. I don't know if this is like pre-baked rendering, or like if this is played on a high-end computer and then the average computer can't do these. It's like very similar to Star Wars Outlaws in that regard, or Fallen Jedi. That's what I was thinking of. So we definitely have to take this, or personally take this reveal trailer with a grain of salt, is what I'm thinking. But overall, looks good. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, personally, I thought it looked better than I thought. Honestly, I'm not saying that I wasn't expecting a quality game per se, especially knowing it was another Chinese title. It was kind of exciting because if it's gonna, I gotta say, follow the footsteps of Black Myth Wukong, it'd be interesting to see if they have that level of success with this game, because that'll show like, you know, a switch in the gaming world and who's making these, I would say, quality AAA titles, because it is a AAA single player. I just realized that it does say that on NetEase, the publishing company's website. So it's definitely, I gotta say, I feel like it's what Assassin's Creed Shadows wanted to be. That's what it looks like to me. I think it stood away from all the extra nonsense that I think the Western companies get caught up in when like the agenda pushing and all the narratives and stuff like that. And you gotta, I think it's ancient China. At some, I don't know exactly what age, what years span this is for China, but I think that's, like I said, I think that's what Assassin's Creed wanted to be with, feudal Japan. It just didn't pan out because they tried to make it, I guess you could say, besides not finishing the game and making it a quality game, but they wanted to push, things that didn't need to be in it. If you're gonna do a game about ancient stuff, let it be about ancient stuff. Don't add new stuff that's in it. You don't have to. It's not necessary. But it did give me those vibes of not Gears. Sorry, you got me messed up with Gears. But the Uncharted. I definitely saw Uncharted.
Oh.
God of War. I didn't really pick up on that until you mentioned it, but I also read it in the comments too. So I was like, yeah. Now that I see it, think about it, yeah, I could see that. But it does definitely look good. Well, from what we can see, like you said, it's not really a gameplay trailer, so we don't really know much. But it's exciting to see these kind of games coming from China, out of all places. To be honest, it's kind of interesting because I wonder if that's going to put like Japan on their toes a little bit. Like, oh, you're making kind of the quality games that we're used to from the Eastern companies.
I would say that China has been producing games of good quality for a long time, actually. And just to bring up, mostly to the audience, but to you as well, 24 Entertainment has made a game, a previous game before, that did get traction. Have you ever heard of Naraka Blade Point?
I've seen it. I was just noticing that just a little while ago because I was looking at it too when you were first going over it. I noticed that, like, I've seen that, I guess you could say logo before, but I never played it, never tried it, never gave it much look. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Naraka is a battle royale game. So I didn't play it because I'm not a big fan of battle royales. But it's a melee action battle royale with I don't want to say champions, but like heroes. It was a hero melee action battle royale. So you have like equipments and things and like accessories you're trying to grab and weapons you need to find. But each of the characters you load in it with have abilities that you can use and have different types of like combos and sets that you're trying to remember. So that is like where they're coming from, which explains the high fidelity because, well, one, I don't know why, but like Chinese games always look beautiful. Like I've played a lot of Chinese games. And another example I wanted to give, because I'm loading up my Steam to remember what this game is called. But I've downloaded a lot of Chinese MMOs to try them out because they're mostly free to play because they're mostly gachas.
I wonder if I tried any. Which ones are you talking about?
I am looking for it right now.
Maybe I just didn't know they were made by China, to be honest.
I mean, they look and do hard Chinese. I don't want to say stereotypes, but like culture. That's how you know it's Chinese game. But yeah, I'll let you know what the game when I find it. But China has been making quality games for a very long time, and they have been putting their foot forward as all the rest of the industry puts their foot back. Because I think this is what we're seeing now is that the countries that are producing good quality games are now getting somewhat of attention because the rest of the industry that normally puts out good games is now dropping on the back foot in that regard.
Yep. So I agree.
I think that is what is going on. Not to say that the game wouldn't have been good because of the rest of the falling, but I do think this game looks good. It's made by China, which gives like China makes good looking games all the time, but it does kind of fall under the same critique I have for most Chinese games. Well, not critiques, but like there are some critiques I have with all Chinese games, or like the majority ones I played, and we'll see if they do the exact same thing here, where the games do not like fuel curiosity. They
Mhm.
are, and we'll see what happens with Blood Message. But like, you have a story, and you'll be able to like, go along the story and everything like that. But there's no need to explore because everything you will counter that is of value is through the story or through the line that the game developers want you to do.
Mhm.
And it's not for a lack of trying. I just don't think majority of Chinese developers consider that outlets of a curious mind. And I believe that's just down to the gaming culture overall, mostly. Um,
Maybe their culture just in general.
I don't know actually, and if we have anyone who's familiar with Chinese like culture or gaming culture,
The day we
specifically,
don't have Mike.
yeah, today we don't have Mike. Um, but here's another thing, a thought process.
Hmm.
The price. What do you think this game would be priced at?
I don't know. I honestly didn't really think too much about that. I really feel like honestly I think there's gonna be a lot of pushback from gamers on that $80 price point. So I think for now, I think most companies will probably play it safe and not bring any negative attention to themselves, especially if they're trying to because these like you said, this is a smaller development team, so they don't have that much catalog behind them. I think they're gonna want to play it safe and not cause themselves any controversy. You know what I mean? But then again, I don't think I don't think China's teams are as in the same situations as Westerns, so to speak, when it comes to that stuff anyway. So we'll see. I don't Black Myth Wukong I think that was $70. But it was worth
Uh,
the $70. Clearly, it sold 20 million copies.
that is, I mean, you're not wrong.
So like the way that game looks, all right, if we're just speaking off the trailer, it looks like a $70 game. It looks like a game that you could justify spending $70. Now, I don't know. I don't know if they're gonna price point at 70. I would say it's 70 because it's a AAA game. It's probably got a decent sized budget. So, you know, I'm just waiting to see. I feel like if this is another blockbuster like Black Myth Wukong, I feel like we're gonna see a huge shift in the gaming industry.
Uh,
You know,
I don't think we'll see a huge shift because the majority of the gaming industry is in denial. Uh, I also found the
well,
game I was talking about. It's called Swords of Legend Online. Um,
I've heard of it, but I never tried it.
yeah. Uh,
I've seen it, you know what I mean? But I
but
never.
like, yeah, like Chinese companies, from the ones that are marketed to
Mhm.
Western, or at least marketed to me, I see
And me.
mostly gotcha games and MMOs. So
Yeah.
they probably do make single player games, but they probably not to my liking because they're not marketed to me, or they are just kept in house, and I say in house as in China, in the region.
But is NetEase a publishing company from China too? Because I feel like
Uh,
I've seen NetEase before.
NetEase, and I'm just going off the top of my head because I mostly need to look at the. I mean, NetEase is a Chinese company, but
Okay. Because I'm trying to look at that
yes,
game
they are a
catalog right now.
publisher. They are a publisher.
Yeah, no, I know. That's what I'm saying. They're a publisher.
I'm sorry.
The
I laughed
developers,
because
24 Entertainment.
I went to look at the games that they have featured on their website. One of them is called Sword of Justice, and I was like,
It's an MMO.
very similar to Swords of Legends. Very quick. That's
No, no, no.
hilarious.
That caught my eye too. That's why I was like, It hasn't come out yet. I might check it out. I'm
Might
looking
be
for an MMO.
Might be similar to Swords of Legend. I need to. I need to. It's not. I just find it funny, like that it happened
Mhm.
twice. It's like that I don't want to say motto, but that saying. It's just like, oh, if I had a nickel for every time a Chinese MMO was started with sword of something, I'd have 2 nickels. It's not a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
True. That's true. But going forward with Blood Message, what do you want to see from the upcoming, the future trailers? What do you want to see more of to get a better idea?
I
What would get you to invest $70 if it is $70? Maybe 60, maybe it's 80. I don't
Yeah,
know.
you didn't ask me what I thought the price was.
Yeah. So yeah, what would you think?
I think it's gonna be 60 for two reasons. Reason one, China doesn't give a fuck. And reason two, it's also because I do think single player games have the ability to be cheaper, mostly because they don't have to upkeep with servers as much, and that may be depending on how they implement the game, because I could be falling on a sword here where like, oh, it's an always online game, which I would hate so much.
You might be right, because Black Myth Wukong was originally $60.
Yeah. And I think it's gonna hit that $60 mark. Whether or not I'll buy it for $60 is another thing, because I didn't pick up Black Myth with Wukong either, and it's not because I didn't have any appeal to play it. It's just simply like I have a lot. I need the time, and if I'm gonna play a single player game with story, I want to focus on that because I am a huge story nerd. I love lore. I love learning about it. But if like I don't have the time to learn it, I don't want to start it.
Yeah. You just don't even invest yourself into it at
yeah.
If you can't go all in.
Yeah.
I got you.
And that doesn't mean to say that I probably won't pick up either Blood Message or Black Myth Wukong. If Black Myth Wukong is on my wish list, I definitely
it's on sale right now.
Yeah. It's more of just needing the time and wanting to put the hours in, kind of thing.
Well, Mike liked it. He definitely liked Black Myth Wukong. So, I mean, clearly a lot of gamers liked it. 20 million copies. I don't know what they're at now, but yeah, there's a lot. So, I don't know. I guess we'll see if Blood Message can be the next Black Myth Wukong and just see how that changes things, going forward. And especially if they do another $60 price tag. You're going to tell me these games from China can come out for $60 and be way better than the games we've been paying $70 from Western companies, and we don't have all the extra DS put into it? Man, I'll just start playing Chinese games. I don't even bother.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I'm about to say something that incriminates me. When I was much younger, majority of the games I pirated were Japanese games. Like, I would find a ROM of a Japanese game and download it, and it needed to be like an English crack or something like that. But I would download them to play them, and I mean, majority of the games I played when I was younger, I couldn't. My mom was definitely not buying me that many games after, or like I got Call of Duty or Splinter Cell. But like besides those on my computer, mostly cracks of Japanese games, and that's just because the quality they come out, great. The quality that Japanese games have, and this is the real reason why Nintendo and Sony have this mentality, just make a game, make it good, and now be okay. And I say Sony specifically because Sony has turned more into a publisher rather than a development company, and that really shows.
It kind of sucks though too, because Sony develops some really good games.
Yeah, they really do. That's besides the point. But yeah, the Japanese have always wanted good games that are quality games from the forefront, because they believe that putting your effort and time into something requires you to put 100% of your effort while you do that time. So they always have provided good quality games, whether to say that they're not crazy or the story is either lacking or just really dense is another thing completely. They can't, that's something we can always knock on for every single because let's be honest, Final Fantasy VII, great game, unfinished. The original one was unfinished. And we have staples in all the Japanese games that like define RPGs to the point where like JRPGs is its own genre. And they have recently just been focusing on making money. And that is what's kind of hurting them in the back. Not because like their games aren't quality, but their games are definitely lackluster in some areas. So,
well, I feel like part of that is Japan's been kind of working alongside some of the American Western companies, and when some of them being stationed here in America, like some offices and stuff like that, and working with people hired in America, and Americans having that mindset. I think that's kind of influenced some of Japanese games in a negative. You know what I mean?
I also think that's not 1,000% true, but it is good. It is a factor. Because you're right. Like,
I'm not saying that's the only factor. For sure, it's definitely other.
Square Enix has like its branch in America, but I doubt that's the reason why Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, or is it the second one? Rebirth?
Oh no, yeah, I think so. I think so. A Crisis Core or something.
Not Crisis Core. Not Crisis Core. Final Fantasy VII. Then you have Final Fantasy, like the reboot, which is remake. And then Rebirth is the second one, and then the third one is going to be something. But like, I think if we're comparing like China today, and an example would be Blood Message, not Naraka, Blood Myth with Crown, and Japan of today, where we would have to compare it with like Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Final Fantasy 16.
Let's give Japan a little credit. They did put out a pretty good Monster Hunter.
But even Wilds like received criticism. Like Wilds received criticism. And we're like seeing like Japanese games are like they're definitely above like the majority of the world.
Yeah.
But they're still not, we still find problems with them. It's an global decrease in quality that we see in video games. When we see like, and then a good example is Blood Message. When we see quality that is similar to the past, I was like, oh, this is a good looking game. Why is that? This looks like God of War. It's just like the same kind of fucking visuals and everything like that. Or Uncharted, and we're still like, oh, that's a good looking game. That's how bad it is. But
that is true. It is true.
I recently watched something online, and the person he was like doing a stand-up presentation, but he was mentioned something that actually kind of struck me in the core. It's like we have to stop doing like forcing our children to like our culture or our norms or things like that, and let them have their own culture, because we were counterculture growing up. We can't be forcing our children to be our culture or like our culture, because that's kind of counter to our counterculture. So,
well, not only that, if you think about it though, like your kids will naturally like those things if they like them. Like, you don't have to force it on them, and it's okay for them to like, create their own culture. Because usually, I mean, everybody kind of takes from somebody, right? There's some influence. No matter whatever they create is going to be influenced by what we did. Just let them.
And what was happening before and happening.
Correct.
Before, yeah.
Let them do it. They'll pay homage, but you can't force them to just only. I guess you could say it has to be this way. This is the only way you can do it. This is the right way. We perfected it. No, you didn't. Everything evolves. There's no perfect. Like.
There's no perfection in identity, and
creativity.
Yes,
there's no perfection.
And like a thing that came up to me, and I think this goes well with what we were talking about, is if something could be perfect, that means that it cannot be iterated on. Does that mean the category that it falls in is flawed? Or if nothing can be perfect in that category, does that mean there is no pinnacle? There's only subjection? AKA, if I like shooters, and I say Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, the original, is the
Mhm.
best game to ever be released as a shooter and is
Mhm.
perfect in every regard, is there any point to make any other games in that genre if it is considered perfect? And then the latter, which is the second part I mentioned, if that is not true, that means that there can't be any perfect game.
Mhm.
If there's no such thing as a perfect game, how do we judge all games that come out? And that if we can't even judge games based on that criteria, every game has to be rated by every person to themselves, which like puts it onto a person like, hey, if you want to play this game, you need to see it. You need to see what the game is and everything like that before you can decide if you like the game or not, or whether what it is to you.
Correct. I think something that goes with that though too is you have to find, or you start to find, the more you play a game, like for instance, like Call of Duty Modern Warfare 1, right? It had some glitches, it had some things that you could expose in the game. Like you said, it wasn't perfect, but it was finding, though it was imperfect, there was perfection in the imperfection. You know what I mean? And one of the things that Call of Duty did amazing, especially at that time, was just, I mean, creating this social aspect to it, because those lobbies were nuts, bro. There was like a chat lobby, but you could talk smack and actually do something, like, like in the game. You can, like, I guess you could say, confront the person, right? And you can make them feel stupid, right? But what I'm saying is those lobbies were fun as hell. It was an environment. It was a culture that was created within the game that really, I guess you could say, helped us ignore some of the flaws and appreciate the flaws at the same time. So, like you said, I think you can say there's a game that's in your eyes perfect, but there's really no perfect game, because we could expose any game. We could, there's flaws
Yeah.
in every game, but that's okay.
And this is like, because I was thinking about it from like
Hmm.
an overall entertainment thing, because like that applies to movies, that
Hmm.
applies to music, it applies to like everything that we in like humanity considers to be our hobbies and everything like that. So I think if we're doing that, that we can't say, oh, like Final Fantasy 16
Hmm.
is not a great game, but it's not because the game itself is bad. It's because the game either was designed for a culture that doesn't exist, or it is not a culture for us. And whether or
I
not
would
the children enjoy it is totally different, but maybe we're not there yet. Maybe
I,
that's the problem.
let me tell you this though. There's a lot more youth than there is of us. You gotta
Well,
understand. Each
that's
generation
questionable.
expands.
That's
Well,
questionable.
I know they're saying some areas
Not
population seems to be
some areas.
digressing,
It's
regressing,
a
shall I say?
lot of areas. It's a
But
lot
all
of
right,
areas.
but I'll say this: if it was that successful to the younger kids, it would be like a Roblox, bro. It would be successful. It'd be doing stupid numbers. It'd be lasting a long time. Final Fantasy 16 didn't do numbers even close to what Final Fantasy used to do when we were younger. Like Final Fantasy easily would hit 20 million back in the day. Now they struggle to do 4 million. So, I mean, we'll see. That's why I'm saying, like, it's going to be interesting to see what Blood Message does another 20 million, like Black Myth Wukong. I think that will put the industry on notice. Like, okay, we really need to change something up, because China is not one of those countries that normally think about when it comes to making video games. Like you said, yeah, they have been making good video games for a while, but they haven't been in the forefront. Black Myth Wukong was the first one to really put them out there. I guess you could kind of say, maybe, is League technically Chinese? League of
No,
Legends?
that's
No,
100% America.
but they're
They're
perched.
the
They're owned by
publisher
China.
publisher Tencent is
Yeah,
from China, which pays Riot.
yeah. Okay, but so that's the only game I really connected really with China in some form. Like, I'm not saying that I didn't know other games, but I feel like Black Myth Wukong was really like a eye opener for the gaming industry. Like, oh, China's up there now. China's putting out some quality. You know what I mean? So maybe Blood Message is the next Black Myth Wukong. Maybe it surpasses Black Myth Wukong. We don't even know. I feel like this game might fulfill uh I guess, an itch or a craving that some gamers were having. Because let's be honest, Uncharted hasn't really put out anything in a while that was you know, a big like banger in a while. I haven't seen, obviously, Assassin's Creed has just, it's fallen by the wayside. And then God of War, we just haven't got a God of War, I think, in a while. That's all.
I mean, they're working on the next one.
Yeah, but it takes time to make those.
Yeah, it does.
So
Well,
that's why I said the in between the itch, So I think we'll see.
you got anything, final things to say before we go?
Nope. No, I'm interested to see it. I want to see what the next couple of trailers look like. I'm sure we'll talk about it again once we see a little bit more and maybe actual, like, legitimate gameplay trailer. We don't know if any of that was gameplay,
Well,
but
we don't even
we'll
have
see.
a release date, so
Yeah,
who knows?
it's gonna be a little while.
All right. Well, thanks for watching the video. Make sure you leave a like and comment down below on what your thoughts are on the new Blood Message reveal trailer and whether or not you've played any sus Chinese MMOs online, either recently or as a child.
And did they start with the word sword?
Let's get a running count of how many sort of games are there. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Peace. Thank you for watching this episode of the Part-Time Gamers Podcast. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more content like this. And follow us on our other social platforms on TikTok, Instagram, and Discord. Links for those will be provided in the description. Thank you again. We will see you on the next episode of the podcast.